Hello, my name is Brother Sean, and following on from the previous video, I want room service, spiritual room service. I was about to close up and get into the garden, roll my sleeves up and do a bit of weeding and pruning, and I got a strong inclination to do a video on what's on the menu for today. Have you ever been out with friends and gone to a restaurant and one of your group is so finicky and picky? They can't have this because it upsets that. They're afraid to take a chance. They're afraid to try a new dish. They're insecure. And they ask you, what can you recommend? And memory serves you well. I'm not recommending you anything because whatever I've recommended you in the past, you've moaned and groaned and whinged. But really, what is on God's menu for you today? Let me read a beautiful message channeled from the Cosmic Christ. I want you to experience the riches of your salvation. Could that be on the menu for today? Of being loved. Experience the joy of being loved constantly and perfectly. What a main course. You make a practice of judging yourself based on how you look or behave or feel. Isn't that so? If you like what you see in the mirror, you feel a bit more worthy of my love. How many of us have looked in the mirror and immediately rejected ourselves? Like our friend who's never happy unless she's whinging and moaning. I know I've done it myself for years. Oh, I wished I didn't look like this. I wished I was more like Tom Cruise or John Travolta. Oh, I wish I could dance like Fred Astaire. Oh, I wish I didn't have a double chin. Oh, I wish that my little Buddha wasn't going south. Hello. What arrogance. When things are going smoothly and your performance seems adequate, you find it easier to believe you are my beloved child. When you feel discouraged, you tend to look inward so you can correct whatever is wrong. And that is so true of this culture we live in. Everyone has a therapist. Well, no, not everybody. Most people have a psychiatrist, a psychotherapist in parts of the Western world. It's fashionable. It has a certain je ne sais quoi, a status symbol. Oh, I'm going to see my shrink alone. Sad. So many people have such a low opinion of themselves that they can't see anything good. Take, for example, cosmetic surgery. People are not happy with the look that God gave them. I can understand if one has been injured in a blast or where they've had extensive burns and they need reconstruction surgery. That's totally different. But all this nonsense. I mean, have you seen Stallone's mother? Bless her. I wouldn't like to wake up from a bad dream. So many people are being disfigured unnecessarily through vanity. I mean, heaven help you if you're flying jumbo and sat next to someone who's had all these operations, because something will give with cabin pressure. Joking. But what vanity. Why are people not satisfied with how they look, how they feel? It's because they don't feel anything, and they think that by having a boob implant, their mouth or their nose shortened, the eyebrows extended, their buttocks turned in, their kneecaps altered, nail implants. What next? Vanity has gone pear-shaped. When you feel discouraged, that's when you surrender your heart. That's when you trust the Supreme to speak with you, to love you and empower you. Take back your power from those who've enslaved you to fear. And that's what happened to me several years ago, where I'd lived a life as a good Catholic Christian, observed all the rules. Oh yes. Excuse me. I observed them so well. I had a face that reminded me of a nightmare and others. I was deeply unhappy. I was not living a fulfilled life. I was miserable, and as a Catholic monk, I looked at photographs of myself, and you would have thought that I would be radiant. I wasn't. I looked so miserable and sad. Why? Because I was unhappy. Now, I don't care how I look, how I feel, because in my heart I'm free. The moment I surrendered my heart to God and came away from a religion that had filled me with so much guilt and fear, I began a new journey where I was eating 5-star every day. I was eating 5-star every day, not the 5-star gourmet meals, but I was in a much happier place in my mind, in my heart, and in my oneness with God. Instead of trying to fix yourself, fix your gaze on me, said Christ, the lover of your soul, rather than using your energy to judge yourself and put yourself down, comparing yourself to others. How many times have you and I done that? Come on, let's be honest. Redirect it to praising me. Remember that I see you clothed in my righteousness, radiant in my perfect love. Are you feeling that? No? Okay, let's see how we can help. The first thing is to come out of your head center. That's why I embrace the teachings of the Essenes, a philosophy that goes back 8,000 years. A philosophy that is a way of life, because it reprograms the mind and brings it back into subjection to the heart. They wrote the blueprint for psychotherapy today, and the affirmations are 7 based on the tree of life. Jesus was an Essene, but the Therapeutae Essenes of Egypt, based at Mount Sinai and Alexandria in Egypt, were schooled in the esoteric sciences and holistic therapies. And they gave us a legacy, but they became hunted men and women by the Greeks and the Romans because they wanted their knowledge, but their knowledge was practiced in how they lived their life. They turned a negative into a positive. And one of their most beautiful mantras, I am light divine. Say it. I am light divine. I am a child of God. I am whole. I am perfection. I am complete. To look in the mirror and to downgrade yourself as unworthy, you are saying to God, you create inferior beings. God creates perfection. But when we start criticizing ourselves, judging ourselves and others, when we start putting ourselves down, we are putting ourselves out of our comfort zone of trust. and we are walking a slippery slope. Why engage with such mindsets? What is to be achieved by putting ourselves down and comparing ourselves to others? Why can't we embrace the beautiful being that God created in us? Let us stop living in this crazy, fix-it world. Let us come away from it. Let us be in it but not of it. Let us surrender our heart to our inner beauty and be.